is Jeannette, aka Sweet Jean, and today we are doing a mukbang story time video. I'm having 2 carne guisada tacos with cheese. This is what it looks like, and I just warmed them up in the microwave. They were leftovers from my sister's breakfast yesterday. So I'm gonna go ahead and open them up. They're still a little bit hot and steamy, and I'm gonna put some green salsa on top. Chile. I don't want to get that in my eye for sure. I'm just gonna put it a little bit because I already have a runny nose with these darn allergies. So just about like that. And let me try to open this one. They're probably stuck together with all the cheese that it has. The cheese is okay. The carne is okay. The tortillas are not so okay for me because they do have carbs. However, my number today was like 86, 85. And I started to feel like I need to eat, and I know I said just a little bit. I almost put the whole thing. Some people put a whole one and another in their Mexican tacos. I apologize, I am not ready. Just getting my stuff and a little bit of salt. Although my sister hates when I put salt on my food, but I mean, I like salt on my food sometimes. I don't do it as much as I used to because I do notice that I get a little swollen around like my ankles and my fingers. Actually, not my fingers. Mostly just my ankles is where I feel it if I eat too much salty food. I'm not going to put any pepper. Okay, so thank you for this food. In your holy precious name, I pray, amen. So, my sister lives in these apartment complex across the street from where my mom lives. Not that that matters. I don't even know. I usually give more detail than needed. Anyways, my apartment was one building down across, so we're kind of like catty corner. Her apartment is catty corner to where I used to stay, and I had a 2-bedroom, and my son was just out of Pampers. He was little. He must have been like 3 years old, and it was just me and him. And one night on I don't even remember. I think it was a weekend. I need to get a bite, guys. Ooh, the tortilla's already hard on this side, so I'm gonna peel it off. I brought a fork because these can get messy. Look at all that melted cheese on here. So good. I'm gonna need to take a couple bites before I get into this story because I'm almost to the point of like where I'm shaking. Which is funny because before I had cancer and before I was diabetic, my sister, during lunchtime or getting ready to be dinner time, she's like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. Look, I'm shaking. Look, I'm shaking. And I'm like, you ate breakfast. You know, you're okay. Or if we didn't eat breakfast and it's getting into lunchtime, and she used to be like, I need to eat something. We need to go out, get something to eat, or I need to make something to eat. I'm shaking. look, can you see me? I'm shaking. And I'm like, you ate yesterday. You're okay. You're going to be fine. You're not going to die. Right? And me and her are curvy girls, as I've mentioned many a time. And I would tell her, like, we have enough stored to last us a day or two. It's not going to hurt us to not eat. And now look at me, diabetic. I haven't eaten all day. It's like 2 in the afternoon. My blood was like 86 late this morning when I got up. So and in this video I am going to be talking with food in my mouth, so that's that. Secondly, you may hear eating sounds. So if you don't like those types of videos, or if any of that grosses you out, you will not hurt my feelings. You can click out of the video now and catch me on, you know, the next video, or video that you would enjoy watching, because that is not my intention, okay? And also there may be food in my teeth. So my son was about 3 years old, and so that would have made me like 26 or 27 years old. So you guys can do the math as far as how old I am and how old I was when I had him. So anyway, I'm asleep in my room and it's quiet, and I had gotten used to the sounds of the neighbor next to me and the neighbor behind me. And I started hearing like a jiggling, and it woke me up. I mean, it was loud enough. I mean, it was quiet enough that I can hear it pretty clearly, that it woke me up. And so I'm listening, and I'm like, I'm thinking it might be the neighbor, or I don't know, it's just a sound. And so I'm listening still, and then I hear a jiggling again, and this time I realize it's like a doorknob jiggling. And that sounds really close to me, like my front door. So I sit up and I'm listening, and I still hear like someone messing with my doorknob. And this is like, I don't know, it was like late in the night, and I'm a night owl, so this must have been like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I get up and I start walking down the long hallway to the front door, and I'm careful, and I'm conscious enough to know that I have carpet, and if someone's out there trying to get in for bad intentions, if they hear me because it's quiet, then I don't know, they'll know that someone's home. I don't know. So instead of dragging my feet like I sometimes do, I'm like picking up my feet so I'm not making any noise, any dragging feet noise to the door. Then when I get to the tile area, I'm like kind of tippy-toeing because I don't want to drag my feet again and make any noise. And then I put my hands on the wall and I lean in, and I'm looking through the peephole. And there is a man out my door trying to open the door. And so I have to make a brave sounding voice, and I said, "Who is it?" And they didn't say anything. These are getting hard on the edges. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to eat faster. And they didn't say anything, and they keep on with the doorknob. And then I said again really loudly, I said, "Who is it?" I forgot what name he gave. I think he said like Juan or something. I don't know. For all I know, it could have been Tony. I don't know. I'm just picking a name out of the air. I said, "Who do you want?" He goes, open the door. I said, who do you want? He says, open the door. And I said, you have the wrong apartment. And my son wakes up and I can hear him, his little feet, tap, 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 tap. And then he hugs my leg. And then I squat down and I said, go in my room, go in the closet and hide under all the dirty clothes, and you don't come out until I go get you. And he's looking at me with like scared eyes. I go, everything's fine, everything's okay. I'm gonna go get you. But you need to go hide in the closet under all the dirty clothes until I come get you, okay? I gotta take care of this. Okay, Mama. And he runs down and goes and hides in my closet. He says, open the door, I'm gonna open it. Or I'm gonna get in or open it or something like that. Mind you, this is a while back, so like 20 years ago. So my memory isn't all that with the exact details, but you're getting the gist, right? So, I bit off too much than I can chew, as you can see. So, I'm hoping it's still recording. So anyhow, I'm scared because this guy is knocking at my door. I don't know who he is. He's telling me to open the door, and if I don't open the door, he's gonna open it. And my son, I'm by myself. I'm a single parent. My son's hiding in my room in the dirty clothes, and I don't want something horrible to happen and him come out and find me in a bad way. And so I said, I grabbed my phone. I said, I need to call the police. At least let me call the police so they could come before he gets in. And so I'm about to call the police, and I said, wait, let me call my sister first. She wasn't living here at the time. She had a house probably close to a mile away. So she lived within a mile radius of these apartments. So I called my sister, and I know that she's asleep because I could tell. She's like, hello. And I go, Jennifer. I mean, I'm going to say it so you can hear me because I don't know how well the speaker is on this phone, but I was kind of whispering it because I didn't want him to hear me. The guy knocking at my door. I said, Jennifer, someone's trying to break into my apartment. Some man's at my door and he's trying to get in. And she's all, what? And then her husband, her late husband, she's like, Israel, wake up. Someone's trying to break into Jeannette's apartment. You need to go over there right now. So I said, she goes, did you call the police? I said, no, I called you first because I know y'all would probably get here before the police. So then the guy's still jiggling around with my doorknob, and she goes, okay, he'll be right there. Call the police right now. And I said, I will. So I hung up with my sister, and then I called 911, and I went down the hall because I have a hard time whispering. And I said, they were like, 999, what's your emergency? I'm like, my name is Jeannette Ortiz. My address is XXX. My apartment number is XX. When you drive in, I'm on the left-hand side, the furthest from whatever, right? Like, I gave specific details as clearly as I possibly could because my heart was racing in my chest. And then they're like, okay, what's your emergency? I said, there's a man at my door and he's jiggling my door. He's trying to break in. He says, if I don't open the door, he's gonna get in. I don't know if he's armed. Please send police right away. I'm a single parent and I'm by myself and I'm really scared. And they're like, okay, ma'am, fire's on the, I mean, not fire, you know, the SAPD is on the way. I'm like, thank you very much. Can I please stay on the phone with you? She's like, yes, yes, no, stay on the phone with me. Do not hang up. When the police officers arrive, then I'll let you know, and then we can hang up once they get there. Oh. Seconds seem like minutes, you know, like time was of the essence. And I thought, man, this guy is getting close to probably breaking my door, or like maybe he's unscrewing it. I don't know. So then I'm like, where is my brother-in-law? Where is my brother-in-law? Like, it doesn't take that long to get here, like 3 minutes drive. So finally the lady on the phone, she's like, okay, the cops are in the apartment complex. You should see red and blue lights. I don't see any lights. I'm not facing the street, you know. She's like, okay, well, they're walking up right now, and then I couldn't hear them, and there's CBs and I don't know, whatever. Like, I heard static and I heard voices, and then I looked out my window and I saw like a couple of cops walking up. I was like, oh my God, thank God, yes, they're here. She goes, okay, thank you, ma'am, you can hang up now or whatever. So they questioned him and they said, sir, you know, what are you doing or whatever. I don't know what was said because I couldn't hear them and I didn't want to open the door. And then so finally the cop, you know, knocks on the door, and then I said, yes. And then they're like, ma'am, it's safe. Can you open the door? This is so-and-so from the SAPD. And then so I unlocked the door and I opened it like this much, and I'm looking out. He goes, ma'am, do you know this gentleman? And I said, no, I don't know who he is. He's trying to get in, and he told me that if I didn't open the door, he was going to open it and he was going to come in. He goes, okay, so you don't know who, whatever his name was. And I said, I don't. And so they're looking at me and they're like, are you sure he's not a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend? You know, maybe there was a, you know, a scuffle tonight and maybe you locked him out. You know, do you want to talk to me in private about who this gentleman is? And I said, I don't know who that is. I don't know that name. He goes, do you want to look at him? I said, no, I saw him through the peephole. And I don't want to open the door and let him see who I am. And then next time he sees me in the street and he's going to be like, oh, there's the BITCH that called the police on me, you know. And so apparently he was a drunk man and he had the wrong apartment. And I'm like, sounds like a sober man trying to get into a single woman's apartment to do bad to her. But I said, okay, I mean, I'm scared. They're like, no, we're gonna take him in. I don't know if they took him in, but to me, they made it sound like he was leaving and they weren't gonna let him drive drunk, and so they were gonna take him maybe for a 24-hour hold. I'm not sure, but I felt safe because coming around the corner is my brother-in-law. I'm like, geez Louise. And he came from the the apartment complex is adjacent to like a wooded area. And he came through there instead of like the street area. But I just figured maybe he went down the wrong apartment place and then came up and then came this way. You know what I mean? And so finally the cops are like, do you know who this gentleman is? I go, yes, that's my brother-in-law. I called him first so he can come help me because I didn't know how long y'all were gonna take. Oh. That piece of meat has too much fat on it. I don't mind a little bit of fat on my meat, but I'm not gonna eat it. So I called my sister and I'm like, the cops came. They took him. They told me he was drunk and that he had the wrong apartment, but I'm safe. And so I got my son and I said, okay, baby, you know, we're safe now. And so I go, and Israel just got here. She's like, what? Just now? And I said, yeah, I know, like 10 minutes later. She's like, let me talk to him. And so she's talking to him like, well, what took you so long? You know, it could have ended badly, etc., etc. And so apparently what had happened, why he took so long to get to me, was that my nephew, my sister and Israel's son, Israel the third, snuck their vehicle out for a night on the town and brought back the car, snuck it back, and left it on empty. So when Israel left to come rescue me, he ran out of gas. He ran out of gas, left the car parked on the side of the road, on the main road there, and instead of walking to the light and turning on the main street and coming in, he did a shortcut through the woods. And apparently he got turned around, half asleep still. He said he even tripped and he even fell. And I'm like, yeah, did you take a nap too when you fell? Because it took you a while to get to me. But no, that was what happened. Like, he ran out of gas and took the shortcut through the woods and got turned around. And I'm sure the woods are like dry and scratchy and thorny and bushy, and there's no trails, you know, like I'm sure it's high, like the grass and the weeds and everything else. And so I feel bad that he tried to go through there and then got turned around and then tripped and fell, and he's all scratched up and everything. But yeah, that is the story of how a man tried to break into my apartment while me and my 3-year-old were still in here. I'm gonna use a fork. Sorry if it makes any scratching sounds. My son was so scared. I was hugging him and talking to him, and I felt his little heartbeat going. So anyway. That cheese is so good. that is it for me. So I do have 3 videos that I still want to put up. Of course, the second time I went to London and the third time I went to London, and then a get to know me tag with the would you rather questions mixed in. But we are doing Vlogmas, so we have plenty of time to put those in. And since when I went to London the first time, that was in 2012, and then I went to London 2013, and I believe it was 2014 or 15 when I went the last time. It was definitely before I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And the second time I went and the third time I went, some of the things that we did are kind of getting meshed together. So I have to like really think about, you know, separating the second visit and how that all went, and then the third visit and how that all went, and maybe even probably get some pictures specifically from my second trip and pictures specifically from my third trip. That way I can I do need to get organized, because it's been a few years since I've gone. Excuse the burping, I do apologize. It's been a couple of years since I've gone, and then the last video to close out the international boyfriend situation, the last video that I will make on it will be the end. I will give you a spoiler alert. It was something that I had to do, and it was something that was on my mind for a few months, and I went back and forth on whether or not to continue. And I did want to continue with all my heart, because I love him with all my heart, and I had to be selfless, and you know, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to him. It wasn't fair to him, and I'll explain why in the last video, when it all came to an end. But that is pretty much it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching yesterday's video. I appreciate it. So I'm going to be signing off with good night, goodbye, sweet dreams, and I will see you tomorrow.